Welcome back. Now it's time to start a discussion about the while and do-while loops. So what is the while loop? The while loop repeatedly executes a block of code as long as a given condition is true. So let's open IntelliJ IDE and let's write some code. So I'll delete this code because I don't need this code. I'll declare a variable. It's going to be of type int, number is going to be called, and I'll put 0, semicolon. Then I'm going to type while, and while I am typing, IntelliJ is giving us a suggestion and saying, do you mean while? Let's press enter, and it added the parenthesis automatically. And outside the parenthesis, I'm going to put left curly brace, and I will press enter. Now, the while loop is going to execute this block of code that is defined by the curly braces as long as this condition inside its parenthesis is true. So if the condition becomes false, it will stop. But if the condition is true, it will continue to loop again and again. And let's type here while number is less than or equal to 10. Let's type here SOUT. Let's put number equals plus number. Let's run this and let's see what happens. As you can see, this continues to loop until it runs out of memory. This is because the condition inside the parenthesis of the while never evaluates to false, because there is no code in our program which makes sure that this condition is going to become false at some point. And in order to become false, I'm going to type here number. So I'm going to increment the number at each iteration, plus, semicolon. Now if I run this, now I get 0, 1, and we get until 10. So now it's working because now we are incrementing the number at each iteration, and when the number reaches 10, this condition will when it reaches 10, it will be true because 10 equals to 10. When it reaches 11, but actually let me show you something. So if I delete this, and as you can see in the output we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. But if I put the system.out.println below the incrementing the incrementing of the number, the incrementation of the number, and if I run this, look what happens. You get 11. So why you get 11? This is because when this number is 10, it will be incremented and it will be 11. And this line of code is going to be executed and it will output 11 in the console. And when it goes back to check the condition, 11 is not going to be equal, less than equal to 10, and it's going to be false, and we're going to have outputted 11 in the console. This is why we have here 11. All right, so this is the while loop. Now let's say that I want to have the code executed at least once, even though the condition is false. So I'm going to put here while let's say number is less than 0, is greater than 0. Let's put here, I'm gonna let it 0, so let's put 1 to make it. Actually, let me put 0, and let's put greater than 1. Now, if I run this, again, nothing in the output because the condition evaluates to false and the code is not executed. And in these cases, when you want to have the code executed at least once, even though the condition is false, you need to use a do-while loop. So this is what the do-while loop is doing. It's executing the section of code at least once. So if I type here do, I press enter, it added automatically the curly braces. And down here I'll type while, and I'll put here number is greater than 1. Let's put a semicolon, and let's put here SOUT. Let's type number equals, let's put a plus number. Now if I run this, we get number equal to 0 because the do-while loop is gonna execute the code inside the curly brace at least once, irrespective of the condition that we have here. And here now you can increment this number if you want plus plus. So if I run this, get again number equals to 0, but let me check this change this condition to, alright, let's change this condition to number less than or equal to 10, and let's run it and get from 0 to 1 numbers being the numbers being outputted in the console. So this is the while and the do while loops that you can use in Java. I'll end this video here and see you in the next video.